minutes until airtime here on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Your next time cue will be with 1 minute until airtime. Mark. Network stations, we are 1 minute until airtime on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Studios, please start your archive recording. Stations, if you encounter any technical issues during today's broadcast, please call the Appalachian State Studio Hotline at area code 336-831-0827. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime. Mark, 30 seconds until airtime. Once again, stations, if you encounter any issues during the broadcast, please call the App State Studio Hotline at 336-831-0827. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Appalachian Sports Network.
Live from the River Street Ale House, welcome to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge on the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield. Coming up, 60 minutes of Mountaineer football conversation and your chance to hear from head coach Shawn Clark. Mountaineer Talk is brought to you by the Allen Tate Companies. Hey Mountaineers, Allen Tate Realtors is the official realtor of App State Athletics and the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas. Call Allen Tate today for all your real estate needs. Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, the official soft drink of your App State Mountaineers. And by UNC Health Blue Ridge, moving healthcare forward. Now, to get things underway, here's the voice of the Mountaineers, Adam Witten.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mountaineer Talk here from River Street Ale House. We're talking App State football for the next hour as we get to celebrate a win from Saturday over James Madison. The Mountaineers get the win on Senior Day, the final home game, Black Saturday, 34-20 over the Dukes, and now heading down to Statesboro for the regular season finale against Georgia Southern. Ooh, we got some energy in the house tonight. I love it.
Be nice. Be nice.
You don't have to be nice. It's okay. You have to be nice. Shawn Clark is here. We'll be talking to him in just a moment. Got a lot of ground to cover. We'll talk about the win from Saturday, and we will preview Saturday's game against Georgia Southern. 6 o'clock, we'll kick it off from Statesboro. Our coverage begins at 4 p.m. As a reminder, if you want to be a part of our show tonight, you can do so in a variety of ways. Use the hashtag Mountaineer Talk on Twitter. You can email us at mountaineertalk@gmail.com. You can text us 828-295-2063. That's the text number. And if you're watching along on our video stream, leave a question in the comments section. We'll get to those in the second segment of our show. Coming up later on, we'll have offensive line coach Mike Cummings, and we will have starting tackle Markell Samuel. That's for our final show here from Ale House for the regular season. Great to have a nice crowd here tonight joining us for the next hour. Coach, how are you? That was a lot of fun on Saturday.
That was a lot of fun. It was a big weekend. I have to have senior day, to be able to send off 19 seniors that walked, and it's been 26, only 19 walked because the others walked last year as well. So Black Saturday, homecoming, Jason Kelsey was in town, so a lot of great things happen on the mountain. And again, anytime you get a great win over James Madison, it's always good. So that was a little cherry on top of the cake, and just very proud of our team with the way they came out and competed. And we got down 14-0. Our kids never blinked; they kept fighting. And again, we came back. Our defense got some stops. We got tied it up. And our special teams came out big this weekend. Coach Haynes all week long dialed that pressure up, and it worked to perfection. So we're able to take the lead into halftime, and then from there, our kids continue to play hard, and the rest is history.
So you mentioned a couple of times, I think you mentioned this in our halftime interview and then again in post-game, that JMU defensively came out and did some things that you hadn't seen on film throughout the season up until that point, and you had to make some adjustments. Can you get into the specifics of that at all, what you saw early and how you adjusted?
Well, that's happened to us quite a few times this year. Teams are playing us different than what we see on tape, and our coaching staff does a great job of getting your game plan together and trying to go those certain looks, certain formations, certain downs and distances, and you come out and they give you some different look, then you have to adjust with it. But we're fortunate enough with the technology on the sideline, we can see it in real time. So you're not taking a player's word for it. You can make your adjustments and really get a different kind of game plan. But I thought our kids handled that well, and again, we were able to run the football, successful run the football again, and able to protect Joey as well. Only gave up 2 sacks, and some of those are coverage sacks as well. So, but again, they adjusted well. I think our kids played hard. They played with a chip on their shoulder this week, which is good to see.
Yep. Coach Clark's comments tonight brought to you by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. How much or how little did you and the team get to interact with Jason Kelsey when he was here?
Not much. We didn't get until late. I think it was Wednesday. Our director of football operations, Nolan Jones, told us he was coming in town, and then he got in at like 3 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning, and I had a chance to see him there on the Mountaineer walk, say hello to him. He asked for the game plan. I gave him the game plan, and I think he was more interested in having a good time in Old Justice parking lot from what I hear.
Yeah, a few different parking lots from what I understand. And we enjoyed visiting him with him in post-game. If you want to hear that conversation, it's on our podcast feed, Nothing But an App State podcast. How about the environment? You mentioned it was fun on the field, but we had a sold-out crowd. The snow around the area made for an interesting environment. What was the atmosphere like from your perspective?
No, we're very fortunate. Again, it's another sellout crowd here at home. We're leading our conference in attendance records. So it was cold, a good boon weather for November. Some snowballs were flying out here. I got hit a few times. We were down 14-0. I got a few snowballs to the back of the head. Then we started winning, and then went to different coaches. So that was a lot of fun. But again, that's part of the environment. Again, it's no matter if we go to someone else's place, we have the same kind of treatment. So that's just part of college football. And again, I'm glad our players handled that well. Our fans had a great time, and we were able to celebrate a win.
How much did you celebrate not having any penalties in the game?
Yeah, that's a first. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. I think it was 2018 that we was against Georgia State here at the Rock, I believe, that we had 0 penalties. But 0 penalties, 0 turnovers, that doesn't happen very often. And we went back and watched the tape. I really didn't see many penalties that could have been called. The officials let us play on both sides of the ball, and that's what you want. Let the players determine the game, and the officials did that.
A few people had a question about a moment late in the third quarter, and you say, well, I saw that there weren't any penalties, but I could have sworn I saw an offsides penalty get thrown. And what happened, and I think this was tough to figure out if you were in the stadium because the ref mic wasn't working on the PA system, so you couldn't hear the result. But what they did was they reviewed it, determined that the snap from the offside penalty did not occur until after the third quarter had expired, so therefore the play didn't count anyway.
Yeah, we did a great job in the coaching box. Our coaches told us that was the clock hit 0, so we were going to challenge that call, and thank goodness that it was right there before the half, and we were screaming to our players, be smart about it, because that's what you want to do. We run all the way down to 1 or 2 seconds, try to get us to jump off sides of a free play, but thank goodness the clock was on 0, and we were able to pick that flag up and move to play another play.
All right, so the Mountaineers beat James Madison this past Saturday, 34-20, and it's on to Statesboro for the finale of the regular season against Georgia Southern. When we come back on our program, we'll take your questions for Coach Clark. Leave them in the comments section of our Facebook live stream. Use the hashtag Mountaineer Talk on Twitter. Email address mountaineertalk@gmail.com. Text line 828-295-2063. Hey, Mountaineers, Alan Tate is the official realtor of App State Athletics and the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas. Call Alan Tate today for all your real estate needs. We're live from River Street Ale House. Come on back for more of Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, right after these messages.
Takes the strongest wireless service in the area. With Carolina West Wireless, Mountaineers get the most reliable coverage on campus and across the country with our award-winning high-speed nationwide network. We offer the latest devices and technology at a great value with an exceptional local customer service experience that you deserve. Try us risk-free for 30 days. Carolina West Wireless is proud to be the official wireless provider of the Mountaineers.
When you think of winning plays, what comes to mind? An unforgettable day in Ann Arbor, Michigan when a blocked kick made 107,000 fall silent, or a tipped Hail Mary turned into a touchdown. These moments are woven into the storied history of App State football. And just like those plays, Blue Ridge Energy knows a thing or two about making winning moves. We're here to power your life with the resources your family needs, offering savings, quick response times, and a reliability rating of over 99%. At Blue Ridge Energy, we've got the game plan to keep you and your loved ones energized.
Reaches the ball out, and he's in!
More coverage of Mountaineer football after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
What does it mean to be first for teaching? First, we listen. First, we engage. First, we recognize potential. You have what it takes: the drive, the smarts, and the heart to be the kind of educator who changes and inspires lives. 2 million kids are waiting for you, but first, your journey starts right here. Be first. Be an App State teacher. Learn more at firstteach.appstate.edu.
For over 60 years, Daniel Boone Inn has been serving Boone and the High Country delicious family-style meals that take you back to your grandma's table. Whether it's our family-style dinner with our signature fried chicken and country ham biscuits served with traditional southern vegetables, or our
You're tuned in to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. Now, time to hear more from head coach Shawn Clark and your host, Adam Witten.
A brighter future. App State, Georgia Southern coming up on Saturday. 6 o'clock is the kickoff. Game will be televised on ESPN+. Our coverage on the Appalachian Sports Network will begin at 4 p.m. All right, time to get to our questions for Coach Clark. You can fire away on Twitter, hashtag Mountaineer Talk. You can email us, mountaineertalk@gmail.com. You can text us 828-295-2063. Let's get started on our text line. This is from Earl, the mayor of Hodges Gap. Has there been more of an effort to use, he says preseason, but I'm assuming he means pre-snap motions late in the season?
That's a great question, Earl, from Hodges Gap. But, again, just we're trying to find a way to have some advantage against defenses. And the way the communication works, you allow 15 seconds, it cuts off at the end of the 15 seconds. So we're trying to get away for our defense. They can mess with their run fit. So anytime you shift motion trades, defenses have to adjust, and we try to do that as much as we can without messing us up. So I think it's part of the game plan every single day, every single week, and we'll continue to do that.
All right, this question from our Facebook live stream from Jeff. What concerns you most about the Eagles' offense?
They're a very talented football program. Coach Hilton does a great job with all three phases. But I think it starts with their offense. So they like to do a lot of RPOs, run pass options. So we have to be very sound, really in the back end, because if you try to stop the run with your secondary, it gives you a chance to get hit down the field on the long shot. But again, just to be able to, they have great receivers, and that's going to be a big deal for for us to make sure we match up and fit them up just right. So, and then on defense, they have a big defensive line. One guy's 6 foot, 335 pounds, and he can move. And it keeps Coach Cummings up at nighttime thinking about him. So, and then they're really good on special teams. They have one coach that's all he does is special. Does not coach any kind of position. So, again, they're very well coached. A lot of great players. It's going to be a challenge for us in Statesboro.
Tony says, Coach, what is your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Oh, Thanksgiving. Well,
it is coming up.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to keep up with the days on the calendar when you're in the middle of the season.
I'm probably more of a dessert guy, a little pecan pie. So that's my favorite dish on Thanksgiving.
I'm glad you say pecan as well. It is pecan, everybody.
No, some
pecan
people say
pecan.
Yeah, pecan pie. But any meal is good. So again, it's my favorite holiday because all you can do is eat and watch football, relax. You're not worried about Santa Claus giving gifts to people. So this is my favorite holiday of the year.
Yeah, it's just about breaking bread with people that you care about.
That's right.
So, all right, we will get to some more of your questions. We got some Georgia Southern related questions coming in, so we'll get to those in our next segment when we break down the Eagles. Coming up later, we've got offensive line coach Mike Cummings, and we have offensive lineman Markell Samuel joining the show. I want to tell you about Mountaineer Mania, proud sponsor of our show tonight. They are they're owned and operated by App State football alumni Preston Powell, class of 2001. They are Boone's longest running team store of 43 years. Their hat bar has the largest selection of App State headwear under one roof and the largest selection of App State Nike products in town. That's our friends at Mountaineer Mania right over there on King Street here in Boone. When we come back, we will get into Saturday's opponent, the Georgia Southern Eagles. App State and Georgia Southern coming up Saturday at 6 o'clock in Statesboro. That's when we return to River Street Ale House for more of Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, right after these messages.
It's Appalachians. When I becomes we, and we live every day for Saturdays. Well, and a couple of Thursdays. It's when The Rock is the loudest place on planet Earth, and every fan in the high country reaches for delicious Pepsi all season long. Pepsi picks us up so we can tailgate longer and cheer louder. It refreshes so we can always be a winning, a grinning, and a feeling fine. So grab a Pepsi and roll Nears, proud sponsor of App State football.
On game day, there's nothing like tailgating, touchdowns, and Twisted Tea hard iced tea. Twisted Tea goes down smooth and tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. Cool, refreshing, and a 5% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea hard iced tea. Look for the bright yellow cans wherever you buy beer. Keep it twisted. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
It is great to be a Mountaineer.
The home of the Mountaineers. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
Mountaineer football is back, which means it's time to fire up those grills and tailgate. The grilling experts at Appalachian Energy and G&B Energy would like to remind you of a few helpful tips when heading out to your cookout this season. Remember that it's okay to bring your own sauces. Always expect the grill master to provide meat, but bring your own sides and beverages. And last but not least, do not touch the grill. For more grilling tips and to learn more about Appalachian Energy and G&B Energy Tailgater of the Year contest, visit us at gbenergy.com.
Hey fans, this is Wayne Cook, co-host of College Sports Now. We're breaking down all the action from around the country every week during the football season. We'll look beyond the box score and keep our finger on the pulse of college football from September all the way to the national championship game in January. Listen all season long on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you'd love to get your podcasts. And be sure to follow along on Twitter at CSNowTweets.
Welcome back to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. We want to hear from you as well. Tweet us using the hashtag Mountaineer Talk. Now let's head back to your host, Adam Witten.
can also be a part of the show. An email, mountaineertalk@gmail.com. Text line is 828-295-2063. Had a couple other questions from one of our other streams that are live tonight. We've got 2 Facebook live streams. We got a YouTube stream all going, but we got a couple others. We had Caleb out there listening, wanted to know about your favorite Thanksgiving food. We addressed that with pecan pie, not pecan pie, pecan pie. But somebody else chimed in asking about Mekhi Jackson and specifically the speed and the deep threat. I mean, we saw it on display on Saturday, but how that really adds a dynamic element to the offense.
No, Mekhi he's really improved. I mean, he's right now he's our best receiver right now with Cade. Now that was a good 1-2 punch, and then it's kind of funny. You go back throughout the game, and we have a GPS tracker on them, and this is game 11. And this was his fastest game he's played all year as far as miles per hour. He was 21 miles per hour, and I think he ran around 6,000 yards in that game. So again, he's really improved when he first got here. He's our number 1 target right now, and he's such a great kid. He comes to work every single day with a smile on his face. I mean, he doesn't mind doing all the dirty work, the blocking, and he does a great job getting open. I think him and Joey have a great connection, so we'll keep riding that horse as long as we can.
5 catches, 162 yards, and a touchdown for Mekhi Jackson on Saturday. All right, before we get into our conversation about Georgia Southern, we, of course, want to tell you again about Goddard Family Farms, which is the official beef of App State football, featuring a premium farm-to-table product sustainably grown in the heart of the mountains, shipped directly to your door. You and your tailgate can now have the beef that fuels the black and gold on game day. Visit GoddardFamilyFarms.com for all the details on how to hashtag Eat Like a Mountaineer. And you're seeing that wonderful cutting board on the video stream right now. It is gorgeous, and it is perfect for letting your steak rest for a few minutes, cutting it up all nicely, and going to town. But you've got a message for Derek right now, don't you?
Yeah, Derek, again, appreciate all your support, what you've done. Listen, my wife and kids are out of town this week, so it's just me by myself on Thanksgiving. So if any one of those Wagyu steaks up here for Thanksgiving for myself. So no pressure, but I want a big thick one, about 22 ounces, okay?
Yeah, no pressure, but there is pressure. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a better meal to go to when you have to fend for yourself
That's
for
right.
dinner.
Hey, big old tomahawk rib out it, Derek,
Absolutely.
Okay?
Appreciate Derek and the family for all their support. All right, Georgia Southern, the opponent, they are 7-4 overall, and they are coming off a win, a pretty convincing win at Coastal Carolina, 26-6 this past Saturday. High level, what stands out about this Georgia Southern team? What makes them so tough?
I think it first starts off their head coach, Coach Helton. Again, I have a lot of respect for him and what he's done throughout his career. He's one of the good guys in the profession as far as doing things the right way, and this is year 3 for him, and they've continued to get better and better since he's there. But just the way he goes about his program, I mean, they do it the right way, but they have a high-powered offense, score a ton of points, a lot of yards, and they have a great speed on the outside. And one thing that probably gets overlooked is their offensive line. Their offensive line does a great job in pass protection, the run game. And then same on the defense. You look at their defense. I mean, they're a bend, don't break. I mean, they've got some big guys up front that can play different kind of coverages. They like to bring different kind of looks and blitz on defense. So just all around a good football team, a team we have a lot of respect for.
You know, in the era of the transfer portal and these days of college football, it's kind of unique to see, especially skill position players that we've been seeing for this many years. But that's the case with Georgia Southern. I mean, there's a lot of names that we recognize from previous games. Jalen White, the running back, O.J. Arnold, J.C. French, the quarterback. We've seen him in action as well. But Dalen Cobb, receiver, Derwin Burgess, receiver. These are all names that we've seen for a few years now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to when they graduate because they're really good players. So that'll keep you up at night. But they've done a great job recruiting. They get most of their players from the state of Georgia, and just really good football players. And it's going to be a tough challenge for us. They go into a big-time environment. And I guess one thing about both programs, they both have great fan bases. They're both great places to play. It's more challenging when you're the visiting team, but they've done a lot of great things in the program. Coach Helton's done a fantastic job.
How would you describe what their offensive scheme is? How do you put that into words in terms of like, hey, this is the style of offense that they run?
Well, they're multiple. I mean, they're a pro-style offense. They spread it out, do some RPOs, but again, they like to run the football, and then they're going to take what they can get from you. They'll run the screens off their RPOs, and again, it puts your defense in a bind. I mean, you can't be a master of all. You have to be good at a couple of things. We have to be able to stop the run, because they're going to run it until we stop them. So all week, this has been a big point of emphasis: stop the run, and then play coverage behind it.
Defensively, same question. What's their alignment? It looks like they're more of a nickel defense, 5 defensive backs.
Well, yeah, again, they're multiple in defense, but basically a 4 down front. But again, they're big up front, got 2 great edge rushers. Their linebackers play downhill. They got great cover corners, and their safeties do a great job of one bending the post, one filling the alley for the run. So again, overall, it's great team speed. You can see that on tape. They are a fast football team, and they like to rally the football on defense.
A lot of guys that can make plays on the defensive side of the ball, but Marcus Watson-Trent is somebody that's really been an impact for them. He's got 97 tackles on the season as a linebacker. How much is he involved whenever that ball's in the middle of the field or even anywhere on the field?
No, whenever you pause the tape or whenever the ball's on, you pause it, he's always around the pile. So, again, he plays the game the right way. Again, and it's just not him. They have a bunch of people like him as well. So, again, the one thing that stands out to you when you freeze the pictures, 11 hats from Georgia Southern around the football. So that's hard to see in college football because, again, it's so spread out. They do a great job of spreading the football. And, again, it's going to be a challenge for us. But, again, it's that kind of rivalry game when we look forward to playing in Polson Stadium.
How much do you make that a point of emphasis in your message to the team in terms of what this game means, or you try to make it like you prepare for every other game and that they're all important?
No, it's the next game for sure. It's a 1-0 mentality, but I'd be a fool to say our kids don't know what this game's about. And to me, this is the Georgia Southern App game is the Georgia Florida, the Auburn Alabama, is the Louisville Kentucky I was a part of, or Indiana Purdue, those kind of games, and that's what you want to play in. Again, I mentioned this earlier. It's just 2 great fan bases. It's going to be Thanksgiving weekend. They're probably going to be sold out as well. So, and that's what you want to play. And that's what we got into in this conference. I mean, this conference has gotten better and better since I've been here, since 2016, and now it's night and day. And especially in the East, as everyone's beating everybody. So the teams that don't turn the football over and can be able to move the ball on offense and stop the run usually have the best chance to win.
This team is so different from 2022. I mean, new players, different coaches, etc. But that's the last time we were down in Statesboro, and it was an overtime game that Georgia Southern won. Did you take anything? Do you learn anything from that game and say, hey, this is how that game got sideways on us that we can't repeat this year?
Well, I asked the same question at our team meeting, who was on that trip in 2022. I think 5 players raised their hand that
Only
was
5
on that trip.
Wow.
Now, we have more players that did not travel that game.
Right.
But so you try and teach different players what this game means. So you go back and look at the all-time record, who has the advantage, and home or away, that matters as well. And again, this is one of those games that you have to play discipline. Again, this is a lot of times these kind of games, it gets so much out of proportion that there's so much going pre-game and between the plays. And really, you have 6 seconds to play one play, and you have to give your very best for 6 seconds to give you a chance to be successful on the next down. So that's a big point of emphasis for us all week long is, just play 6 seconds at a time as fast as you can, and let's see what happens in the next play.
Coach Clark, comments tonight brought to you by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Coach, this is our final show at Ale House for the season. So, man, we can't thank the folks that have been here enough tonight. Jeff and the whole staff here at Ale House, this has been another tremendous year of the show.
No, it's been thanks y'all for coming out. Again, a great turnout all year long. Again, just want to wish all of that nation a happy Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for, and again, couldn't be more proud to be your coach. And we'll see you guys down in Statesboro this weekend.
All right, my man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Adam.
See you down there. Shawn Clark joining us on the show. When we come back, offensive line coach Mike Cummings will be our guest. That's when we return to River Street Ale House for more of Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge right after this.
When you think of winning plays, what comes? When a blocked kick made 107,000 fall silent, or a tipped Hail Mary turned into a touchdown. These moments are woven into the storied history of App State football. And just like those plays, Blue Ridge Energy knows a thing or two about making winning moves. We're here to power your life with the resources your family needs, offering savings, quick response times, and a reliability rating of over 99%. At Blue Ridge Energy, we've got the game plan to keep you and your loved ones energized.
James River Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer dedicated to a full line of residential, commercial, agriculture, construction, and forestry products in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. With local locations in Wilkesboro, Newton, Statesville, and throughout the Carolinas and Virginia, James River Equipment is right around the corner and there for you. For more information, visit jamesriverequipment.com today.
Reaches the ball out, and he's in! More
more coverage of Mountaineer football after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
You, nature lover. Ever heard of us? We're Boone, North Carolina. High up in the Blue Ridge Mountains, with vistas that go on forever. Adventure that never stops, and challenges you've yet to try. We've got every outdoor pursuit you can imagine, and cozy lodging. Explore Boone.
Hey Mountaineer fans, did you know UNC Health Caldwell proudly serves the High Country by providing services like women's health, primary and urgent care, cancer care, spine care, urology, and more? When you or a loved one receives care at UNC Health Caldwell, count on compassionate patient-centered care from a skilled team of healthcare providers. For more information on healthcare services from Blowing Rock to Hickory, visit www.caldwellmemorial.org.
All right, welcome back to the show. It is Mountaineer Talk here from River Street Ale House on the Appalachian Sports Network, and we know you're enjoying your time here at River Street Ale House, but make sure you also check out Town Tavern Blowing Rock for a great dining experience. They're open for lunch, dinner, and later have 19 flat-screen TVs to catch the game. They also boast the largest outdoor dining area in the High Country, so make sure you stop by Town Tavern Blowing Rock on your next trip to the High Country. All right, this might be the loudest that it's gotten in this restaurant this year. Everyone, please welcome our next guest, offensive line coach Mike Cummings. How about that?
That's pretty good.
That is quite a welcome.
That's really good. You know, it's a lot different than Saturday. You know, we were down 14-0. I got a snowball thrown by my head. These people are actually excited that I'm here. It's great.
No, it's great. All right, so you got quite the group here tonight. Who's here supporting you tonight?
Okay, so my wife Dawn is here.
Okay.
My daughter Liz Cummings is here, and my daughter Emily Schwegman and her husband Joey are here. So they all came in town for Thanksgiving. They were able to come by the game on Saturday. It was very exciting. They really enjoyed themselves, and I think they were hanging around with Kelsey a little bit. And somebody said something about this stuff shining. I don't know what they were talking about. They were drinking it. I don't know. Kelsey had that on too. I don't really understand what that is. I'm from Western New York, so I don't.
Yeah. It was Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Yeah,
okay.
It was Pepsi. All right. Well, thank you all for being here and giving us such great energy for the show tonight. How did you feel that the game went on Saturday from the offensive line perspective?
Okay, so I thought that we did a good job. Our guys played really hard, and it was one of the things that we set forth as a goal was that we were going to play relentless in this game. And you know, initially it doesn't look like things are going well, but I think that when we get going and we play that way, we end up wearing a defense down, and we play harder than they do, and we play longer than they do. And I think we've begun to develop as an offensive line. I mean, we all know we've got a lot of new players, and you know, early in the season we were talking about chemistry and so forth. And I thought that as the game went on, we were seeing more and more of that chemistry. Yeah. And if you could ever watch, I know most people can't, but if you could ever watch the video and watch the end zone, which, I mean, why would you ever watch anything else, right? But if you ever watch the end zone copy of the video, you can really see some carnage taking place with our offensive line. So that's fun. And not everything's perfect. It's not going to be. But if you play hard and you play longer than the other team, good things will happen.
Yeah. So, so the beginning of the game, you know, the first two drives, it's not really going so well early in the game. But how are you dissecting that and absorbing that? Are you saying, okay, yeah, we just got to stick to it. We can't panic because of two drives that are, you know, 3 and out, or we're going the wrong direction.
That's pretty much it. That's what we said. But, you know, we have iPads now.
Yep.
All right, so we can actually look at the iPad in between series, and we can, you know, back and forth, slow motion, stop motion. We can draw on the screen. I mean, it's great. And you can actually coach the guys and say, look, this is where we made a mistake. Let's change what we're doing here and there. And they're very receptive to it, and they understand it. So it's like you're having a little class or, a meeting on the sideline, and then you make your adjustments and you move forward.
Yeah. we've been talking for the last few weeks that just the running game especially has been so much more productive, really going back to the Marshall game. What have you noticed in the improvement on the O-line specifically when it comes to run blocking?
Specifically, okay, so blanket statement on this one, I think we play harder. I mean, there was a time during the season, probably up until that Marshall game, we actually were throwing the ball 64% of the time. And now we kind of flipped that. And I think anytime you do anything more, you get better at it. And so our guys really buy into that. And look, we got to talk to there's the tight ends are involved in that game and the running backs. And we talk about something called dirty runs.
Yeah.
And where you got to get in there and it's not quite perfect, but they run through an arm tackle. It creates energy. And, if you're blocking somebody, blocking a defensive lineman or a linebacker, and they have to kind of fall off your block to try and tackle, that's extra energy they're expending. So the guys have really bought into that type of thing, and they love contact. They love finishing. And we've developed better. I mean, as I said, we had a lot of new guys come in, and just how these, transfers and freshmen coming in, and the hand usage, et cetera, the more we do it, the better we are. And so I think that's a big part of it, just doing it more.
Yeah. 4 of the guys were new starters to their position coming into this season. Can you describe just how challenging that is to get when you have that many new starters for a group of 5 guys to be able to gel the way they need to?
Can I describe how difficult it is?
Yeah.
This show's not long enough for that, okay? Here's what you do, okay? You find really what is called the lowest common denominator, and you work from there. And some guys are, there's a little different levels of football intelligence, football acumen, whatever you call it. And you work with that lowest level, and as you coach through that, we have players that have more football acumen, and they coach each other. So that's a big part of it. Like if we're doing something, we can like Markell. We're going to meet Markell in a little bit, right? Markell's been around me a little bit, so he's scarred, and he knows that if we talk about something or we're making a correction on it, he can go ahead. He'll bring someone aside and talk to him about that. So it's kind of like this. It has its own mind of its own or a world of its own, where people actually we're making corrections and they're coaching each other as it goes.
Yeah.
So and you can hear that. I mean, you can hear it. The one group will be up, and you can hear the other guys talking behind. You should try this. You should do that. This is the right call. So it is difficult, but I think repetitive messaging. We all know. I mean, repetitive messaging in anything in the world. You get your point across, and we continually do the same things.
Yeah.
And we try and keep things as simple as possible. And it's probably telling most people it'd be very difficult what we do, to understand. But we break it down to make it as simple as we can, so they can go ahead and continue to do it numerous times.
Yeah, I got to think that for the layman like myself, analyzing offensive line play has got to be the most difficult thing in the world to do. So I'm glad that you're here to help us with that. All right, that is Coach Mike Cummings. We're going to take a break, come back. We've got a few more minutes with him. If anybody in the audience would like to submit a question for Coach, I don't have a microphone, but you can either shout it out when we're back live or text it in to 828-295-2063. 828-295-2063. It'll show up right here on my computer, and we'll let those fly. All right. We will continue with more from River Street Ale House. We've got more of Mountaineer Talk presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge right after this.
Strongest wireless service in the area. With Carolina West Wireless, Mountaineers get the most reliable coverage on campus and across the country with our award-winning high-speed nationwide network. We offer the latest devices and technology at a great value with an exceptional local customer service experience that you deserve. Try us risk-free for 30 days. Carolina West Wireless is proud to be the official wireless provider of the Mountaineers.
It's Appalachian State football season when I becomes we, and we live every day for Saturdays. Well, and a couple of Thursdays. It's when the Rock is the loudest place on planet Earth, and every fan in the high country reaches for delicious Pepsi all season long. Pepsi picks us up so we can tailgate longer and cheer louder. It refreshes so we can always be a winning, a grinning, and a feeling fine. So grab a Pepsi and roll Nears, proud sponsor of App State football.
It is great to be a Mountaineer.
The home of the Mountaineers. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
Do you know where to find tasty country gourmet foods, sauces, and fixins that are perfect for your tailgate meal? Are you looking for outerwear to stay warm and dry at the game? Do you need to find a thoughtful gift for a good friend? Well, get Yosef to the Mass General Store before the game, after the game, the next time you're in town, or anytime online. Mass Store's friendly staff looks forward to seeing you in person or at massstore.com soon. The Mass Store has been a destination for Mountaineers since 1883.
It's never lost on Window World that your home is your largest physical investment. Window World's integrity will be noticed from your very first contact. The clean, professional installation of premium windows, siding, doors, and more are designed to last while leaving your home looking amazing. Window World and their lifetime warranty will always be there when it really matters. They are America's most trusted remodeler and the official exterior remodeler of App State Athletics, because the difference is integrity and always in the details.
All right, welcome back to the show. It is Mountaineer Talk on the Appalachian Sports Network. We're live at River Street Ale House. We're continuing with offensive line coach Mike Cummings. And hey, Mountaineers, App State's nationally recognized MBA will put you on the path to become a leader in a global business world. Earn your App State MBA on campus or online. Check it out at mba.appstate.edu. All right, we're seeing if the folks here from your family want to submit a question. Again, the text line 828-295-2063. I do have a question here in our text line that says, Coach, how much do you like pancakes?
I love pancakes. They're the best. If I had to pick one food, that would be it. Okay, actually, you know what? I might like the syrup more than I like the pancakes. You know, I like syrup, and the pancakes kind of makes it reasonable.
We're talking about food and not the offensive line stat, or both, I guess. We're talking about both.
Well, actually, I like them both, okay? They don't need to have syrup on them if it's by an offensive lineman.
Fair enough. All right, so we're going to visit here with Markell Samuel in just a little bit. You mentioned a little bit about his leadership qualities and helping some of the younger guys to make a group of 5 guys on the field all together be able to gel. What can you tell us about just the way that he's developed now in becoming more of a veteran on this team now?
Okay, Markell is very mature right now and really wants to make his game the best. Okay, and he mentioned, you should ask him this question, something about the grade he saw of himself by somebody else that kind of motivated him to become a better player. And what he's done with himself is he's really he's a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
He came from being a defensive lineman, and they couldn't figure out what to do with him, okay? So we brought him to the offensive line, and he's become a great player. So that just tells you, okay? Send your sons to be offensive linemen. But he's done a great job of, he wants to be good, and he studies. I meet with Markell 2 days a week at 7 a.m. because he's got a class in our normal meeting time, so we have kind of one-on-ones. He's done a really good job of digging into the opponent, working with his hands, which is a big deal. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, you play with your eyes and your hands.
Yeah.
Obviously, your feet are in there, and that's something he's learned and done a really good job on. His pass sets have become much better, and he knocks people in the end zone. I mean, he's got a couple on there from Saturday where he and his buddy Langlow. I mean, I thought we were going to get a penalty. They knocked the guy almost out of the end zone together, and then he knocked the guy out of the end zone. I think 2 plays later. So he's doing a really good job for us. Okay.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit of that in you to play the position well, right?
You do, and we refer to it as style of play. I mean, everybody's got a style of play. There's a tennis style of play. There's probably a golf style of play. And then there's the offensive line style of play, okay, which is, we want to have some carnage.
I love that's the second time you've heard that word, and I love that as a description of how the offensive line plays, which is carnage. I like that. Carnage at the line of scrimmage. What does Georgia Southern up front present to you guys in terms of the challenges on Saturday?
Well, they have good size. They have good size, good initial quickness, and the 2 interior guys are pretty big. They have 1 interior guy that's listed as 340. I mean, I guess we could argue that he's a biscuit away, from 400. I mean, he's a giant guy.
Yeah.
That's
57 Bullard. Yeah,
that's Bullard. All right, and Bullard. But we had a challenge with Bullard last year too. I mean, he can come off the ball pretty good, and he's a load. So we're going to have to address him. And they have another guy in there that the 3 technique 88 who has great initial quickness. We have great respect for them. We have respect. They have two and three good defensive ends that play. The linebackers are good players. It's just here's what's going to come down to, though. It comes down to a physical game. I mean, there's not like we're not worried about anybody. We'll respect them and we'll address them. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah. And ultimately, you just gotta. It's about playing hard, playing physical, and unleashing as much carnage as you can in there.
That's right. We're going to play harder than there. That's what we're going to do.
All right. I've gotten this question a few times. I got it for Coach Clark, so I'll ask you too. I know that Thanksgiving plans are always different when you're coaching college football, but do you have an opinion on best Thanksgiving food out there?
I think the best Thanksgiving food for me would be a filet. Okay. My wife doesn't think that, though. She cooks a turkey. Okay. And look, I don't want to offend anybody, but I just seriously, turkeys get so dry. Okay. Now, we had it tonight at our Thanksgiving dinner, with everybody in the program, which is fantastic, by the way. If anybody's here who made it, it was really good. And my wife does a great job with the turkey, but it gets dry. I mean, people say, why do you put so much mayonnaise on a turkey sandwich? Because it's dry. It's not because you like mayonnaise.
I'm looking to see if anyone's nodding there. Markell's nodding his head.
I think everybody's just kind of shocked that I'm saying what they're thinking. I think that's really what it is.
Get you a nice Goddard Family Farms filet instead.
There you go. And I was going to go there, too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. Well, appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you having me.
Hey, thank you all for coming here as well. Your whole family. This is great to see everybody here. All right, we're going to talk to Markell Samuel after the break. That's when we return to River Street Ale House for more Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge right after this.
Mountaineer fan from modern Subaru of Boone. And when you buy with Go Modern, you can choose your vehicle, value your trade, pick your payments, apply for credit, even complete your entire purchase online. Or just do the parts you want and pick up where you left off at the dealership. Go Modern puts you in control so you can buy where you want, when you want, and how you want. Get started at modernsubaruofboone.com. Proud supporter of App State Athletics.
From the training room to the sideline to the goal line, App Ortho has you covered. Performing advanced hip, knee, shoulder, and back surgery in Boone, App Ortho offers same-day appointments and telehealth visits. App Ortho is also the official sports medicine and orthopedic provider for App State Athletics. Call 828-386-2663 to schedule your appointment or visit apprhs.org.
Reaches the ball out, and he's in! More coverage of Mountaineer football after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
App State's top-ranked online MBA is designed for you. It's a flexible, accredited, part-time program that works with your busy schedule and allows you to earn your MBA in 2 years. Learn online from the same faculty who teach on campus with the unmatched personalized interaction and support we're known for at Appalachian. Your App State MBA is within reach, wherever you are in life. Take the next step. Apply today for spring, summer, or fall admission at appstate.edu.
Hey y'all, this is Michael Felder, co-host of College Sports Now. We're breaking down all the action from around the country every week during the football season. We'll look beyond the box score and keep our finger on the pulse of college football from September all the way through the national championship game in January. Listen all season long on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to get your favorite podcast. And be sure to follow along on Twitter at CSNowTweets.
Oh, man.
All right, welcome back to the show. We are live at River Street Ale House. It's Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. App State and Georgia Southern coming up on Saturday. We're going to visit with Markell Samuel in just a moment. This segment of our show brought to you by Alumni Hall, the official online store of App State Athletics. Shop the latest and largest selection of App State apparel, hats, Yeti, and all your tailgating gear by visiting Alumni Hall on King Street, or shop anytime at appstatesports.com or alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, the ultimate Mountaineer shopping destination. Give it up for our player guest tonight, offensive lineman Markell Samuel. How you doing, man?
Good, and you?
I love it, man. The energy here tonight is just tremendous. So you're not a turkey guy either, I guess.
No, I like ham and especially mac and cheese.
Okay.
Good mac and cheese, you can't go wrong with it.
All right, so ham, mac and cheese, and then you're all set. That's
yes,
everything
sir.
else. I mean, it's not like it's bad, but those are options 1 and 2 for you.
Right.
All right. Tell us a little bit about how things. What was Saturday like? First of all, just the atmosphere, the way the game played out, the students, the crowd, all of it. How would you describe what Saturday was like?
First of all, it was great. It was very cold, but being on Boone for 5 years, you get used to it. The atmosphere was great. We had Jason Kelsey there, a Hall of Fame legend, so the fans were pretty excited about that, and the players. So the overall atmosphere was great.
Did you get a chance to shoulder up next to him at all during Mountaineer Walk or anything like that? Or
I got to talk to him for a little bit.
Yeah.
And he just asked me where I was from and stuff like that. It was a pretty cool experience to talk to a guy like that.
Now you're from a lot of different places, right? Yeah. Tell the audience all the different places where you've lived.
So my dad was in the military, so I lived in Georgia, Italy, Germany, Kansas, and then North Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of stops.
Do you speak any other languages?
No, my mom is German, but I never really learned it.
Because I guess you were pretty young when you were living there.
I was super young, so I never really caught on to it.
Yeah. Do you have any memories or anything that stands out about living overseas?
Just seeing how different it is overseas and like how different it is from America. It was great experience seeing different people and adapting to different environments wherever I went.
Yeah. So we had you on an earlier episode of our podcast, and I remember asking you this question, and I love the answer, but you started, as Coach Cummings told us, you started as a defensive lineman when you were here.
Yeah.
What was your impression of offensive linemen when you were a defensive lineman?
I always looked at offensive linemen as fat, sloppy guys, and then when Coach Clark kept begging me to come over there, I was like, no. I told him no for like a year or two, but then I gave in.
What was it that ultimately made you give in?
I just wanted to play. I just wanted to play football. It didn't matter where it was at. I just wanted to play football, and he gave me the opportunity to do so.
Had you ever played offensive line growing up, or was it all defensive side of the ball?
It was all defense. The closest I came to offense was tight end.
Okay. What was the biggest challenge in that transition?
The biggest challenge was really like getting the technique down and the mental part of the game, and like knowing where I need to be, knowing where my other O-linemen need to be, and just knowing the mental part of the game. It's really big for offensive linemen.
What do you mean specifically when you say the mental part of the game? What's the key of being strong in or mastering the mental part of the game as an offensive lineman?
So basically, like, say for a run play, our center has to make a point, and you need to know where to go based off that point. And if you don't know, then you can have a D lineman or linebacker running up the field and get into TFL.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
You have played against some guys for James Madison that had some pretty good stats. Their defensive ends had a lot of tackles for loss, a lot of sacks. How do you feel like you and Thomas Schrader at those tackle positions did on Saturday?
We prepared well. Coach Cummings, he prepares us for the fight, every fight. So we had 2 weeks to game plan them, and we had a lot of practice in between those times, and all of those reps helped us prepare for the game.
Yeah. One of the things I think that's interesting is, on the defensive line, there's a lot of substituting that happens, right? You play a few plays, you get a whole new group of defensive linemen in. That doesn't happen on offensive line. How do you make sure to stay fresh and not get fatigued and be out there for basically every snap of the game?
Yeah, sometimes you just got to take a deep breath in between the play and just really relax yourself and your mind, and you got to say, I got to go at it again and again and again and again. So you got to be locked in.
Yeah. What does it mean to you when Coach Cummings uses the word carnage to say, that's how we want to play and that's what it's going to be like at the line of scrimmage? What does that mean to you?
Oh, yeah, I love it. You look forward to Sunday when you're watching the game film, and he has on his highlights carnage. carnage, and you want to be one of those guys that is doing the carnaging to the defense.
What's an example of a carnage play? Is it just pancakes, or what else would qualify as carnage?
Basically pancakes, bodies on the floor, denting the D lineman 5 yards down the field, pretty much anything, really.
Wait, did you say denting them?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Denting a defensive lineman 5 yards down the field. That's a new one. I might have to adopt that one. All right, we're visiting with Markell Samuel, our player guest tonight. If you have questions for Markell, you can use hashtag Mountaineer Talk on Twitter. MountaineerTalk@gmail.com is the email address. Text line 828-295-2063. We'll have a few more minutes with him after this commercial break, and we will get to your questions for our player guest tonight. We're back to River Street Ale House for more of Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, right after these messages.
Mountaineer Talk postgame is presented by Town Tavern Blowing Rock and River Street Ale House, your high country football headquarters. Our great food and drink specials are available throughout the week. Visit us every Thursday for our famous wing night, Mondays for taco night, and Tuesdays for half-price pizzas. Then, as always, we will have all the games on our high-def TVs for a weekend full of football. Come see us at Town Tavern Blowing Rock and River Street Ale House, or visit our newest location, Town Tavern of Banner Elk.
For over 54 years, Greystone Eye's mission has been to preserve the gift of sight and improve lives one patient at a time. Their highly trained team of 15 board-certified ophthalmologists and optometrists includes 8 fellowship-trained subspecialists. They provide the Lincolnton, Hickory, Lenore, and Boone communities with the highest quality eye care possible. So no matter where or how you're viewing the game, Greystone Eye has you covered. Schedule your visit at 828-322-2050 or at greystoneeye.com.
It is great to be a Mountaineer.
The home of the Mountaineers. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
Vesco Toyota, family-owned and operated, has been the exclusive Toyota forklift distributor serving Western North Carolina for over 40 years. Vesco's service department has the experience to keep your equipment running safely and efficiently. Let Vesco's team of local and resident technicians go to work for your business. We open at 6 a.m. and offer 24/7 emergency service. Vesco rents forklifts, scissor lifts, boom lifts, scrubbers, trailer spotter, burden carrier, and 4-directional combi lifts. Vesco has you covered. Call us today at 1-800-951-3131 or visit us online at vescoforklifts.com. Give your business a big lift today.
Catawba Valley Engineering and Testing is an App State alumni-owned full-service geotechnical engineering, environmental, construction materials testing, and special inspections consulting firm based in Hickory. Maintaining pace with the latest technology and developments allows us to provide cost-effective services. The high number of returning clients reflect their confidence in our staff and our ability to provide quality results. Visit us at cvet.net to learn more. Catawba Valley Engineering and Testing is a proud partner of App State Athletics.
To the show. It is Mountaineer Talk here on the Appalachian Sports Network. Adam Witten with you at River Street Ale House, and we're joined by our player guest, Markell Samuel. This is our final show of the year at River Street Ale House. We'll be back in January for basketball shows, but we do want to again thank Jeff and the fine folks here at River Street Ale House and all of you that have been here all season long for our shows. Okay, Markell Samuel is our player guest. This is one that we get a lot, and an emailer at mountaineertalk@gmail.com wants to know your favorite NFL team and why.
My favorite NFL is the Dallas Cowboys. They let me down.
Sorry, man.
They let me down every year. I'm heartbroken.
Yeah. You and our guy Brandon Turner, my analyst, he's a Cowboys fan as well.
Yeah.
You didn't tell Jason Kelsey you were a Cowboys fan, did you?
No, definitely not.
Okay, good.
No.
All right. Neil asked, when did you know Boone was going to be the place for you?
Whenever I started getting recruited and I took a visit here, everybody was family. And then when I went out on the visit with the players, they took me in, showed me the ropes, and showed me a good time here, and I wanted to be a part of it. And it's a winning culture, so.
Yeah. Another question, what's your favorite thing about being a Mountaineer?
Favorite thing? My favorite thing is the brotherhood, how the team just all rallies around each other no matter what adversity we're put under. we just always rally back and keep fighting.
Yeah. Question came in from Teresa, who says, is offensive line the most difficult to gel over the course of the season? This is a question that we asked Coach Cummings earlier, but from your perspective, as somebody who's coming back with some experience, but then you've got a lot of new faces playing alongside you, how difficult was that for you guys to gel as a group?
It definitely is a little bit difficult with a lot of different guys, new pieces. We have to figure out how to work with each other and communicate. And as each game went on during the season, we kept getting better and better. And hopefully Georgia Southern, we put it together and have a great game and come out with a W.
Another similar question is the improvement in the running game. How have you guys grown? Where have you had to make improvements to try to get the running game going where it is now and getting better in the overall run blocking scheme? Where have you guys made strides there?
We made strides with knowing the details and where we need to be and finishing guys and finishing blocks so that our running backs can get through the hole and make big plays.
Mm-hmm. When you get a touchdown, a long touchdown, like whether it could be a running play or maybe the long pass to Mekhi Jackson, is it a race between the offensive linemen to get to the end zone?
Yeah, sometimes on long touchdown runs, it's really hard to get down the field as fast as you can, but we try. But it's fun every time when you see a guy make a play and you're running down the field and the crowd is erupting. It's the best feeling ever.
Yeah. Who's winning that race?
Probably me.
Yeah, you're the fastest of the offense.
Me and Ram, we're battling for the fastest.
Okay. Of course you would say yourself, but I mean, look, I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. So you were one of the, I think Coach Clark said that there were only 5 guys that raised their hand in the team meeting about who was on that bus down to Statesboro 2 years ago. You were one of the guys. What do you remember about that? And I know that you guys want to try to make sure that feeling doesn't happen again.
Yeah, so in 2022, I was a player on the sideline, so I watched the whole game. It was devastating and heartbreaking, and we don't want that feeling when we go down there this Saturday. What
do you like about playing in a hostile environment? We've talked to other players about this. You know, the students are right behind you at Georgia Southern, and it's not a fun place to play. But I know that seems to motivate players sometimes playing in environments like that.
It definitely does. It makes it more fun and it makes you more into it. I love when fans are talking trash. And like last time we were down there, they were throwing beer cans at us and stuff. So yeah, I can't wait to play in it.
Sometimes there's no better feeling than making a stadium go quiet, is there?
Definitely, yeah.
All right. Well, Markell, it's been great having you on the show. We've enjoyed watching you play this year. Thanks for being here, man.
Thank you so much.
Markell Samuel joining us on the program. Our thanks to him. Our thanks to Coach Mike Cummings and head coach Shawn Clark for joining us tonight. And again, our thanks all season long to the fine folks here at River Street Ale House, to all of our wonderful sponsors, our presenting sponsor, UNC Health Blue Ridge, and of course, everybody that's been here every Tuesday night throughout the season. We thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you back here in January when we start basketball shows here for Mountaineer Talk at River Street Ale House. App State, Georgia Southern coming up Saturday at 6 o'clock. Our coverage begins at 4 p.m. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Have a great night, and go App.
You've been listening to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge on the